the last album, it's always been a mixture of all tempos, flavors, genres, and parang ano, it's like the lunch that we had. Iba't ibang utahe para hindi ka pagsawaan ng tao.
I wonder kung nagle-level up din yung say vocal arrangement or a cappella versions, especially nung naging popular yung Glee followed by Pentatonics.
What is...
Kung nag-level up ang arrangements? Well, from the very start, I think...
In general.
The renaissance of contemporary.
Not just with us, but with
No.
I think yes. I think the fact that there were examples already, and it was being accepted, it was being accepted by more people. Mashup, counterpoints, and then different kinds of arrangements nga, vocal arrangements. Mas naging keen yung tenga ng mga tao and listeners. And I think that's also why we also have so many wonderful a cappella groups.
Amazing young groups.
Na nakakatuwa pakinggan and just to watch them and to see them discover their own kind of sound naman. But then, with wonderful arrangements as well.
Also, you mentioned that there is this, I guess, a renaissance here in the Philippines. Kasi malaking tulong yun si Ryan Cabiab with the A Cappella Open. Now we have the new darlings and stars vocal groups of the a cappella scene, Philippine scene. We have Pinopela, we have Acapelago, amazing, amazing singers. The level of the skill and musicianship has really gone up by leaps and bounds. And like noon when we used to start, it was just like lush, beautiful chords. Now, people can sound like guitars, people can sound like, there's beatbox, of course, like a muted trumpet. They can sound like samples on and all. So, and I thank you for bringing that up, Joe, because in every of the decade, in each decade of the concert throwback, a company has to present an a cappella song from that decade. So at least minimum of 5 a cappella songs for the company to represent 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s.
Kasi like you said, yung Pentatonics, parang yung album nila, #1 sa US. So I think it goes to show lang na it still has place for the mainstream today.
Actually, it has become mainstream, no? Glee,
parang lahat nagtatry ngayon. Maraming hindi naman natin kilala na mga bagong singers.
High school.
Kahit yung mga nasa, mga street kids, parang kaya wala naman silang instruments. So talagang naging uso at pumatok talaga. Yeah, thank you also to Pentatonics, Glee, kasi kami, syempre the group is not young anymore. So, but dahil sa kanila, updated din kami. Kasi like,
we are challenged.
We also sing the Pentatonics medley, yung evolution of music nila. So we also do that.
We do that.
And then gumawa naman kami ng evolution of OPM. So, nakakatawa kasi parang hindi na yung...
Na-level up din tayo.
Na-level up din kami. Tsaka yung a cappella parang, parang...
Ngayon mainstream na siya. At saka kami napipilitan rin na, none of us are very good beatboxers compared to the others here. Like a Mike Solomon and all. But we have to, we try and we study the YouTube videos of how to expand their a cappella sound. So,
totoo ba na even, like you said, even you go out to the streets, you see a little barkada, street kids, the same way, people are getting more and more inspired, less and less daunted na, ang songwriting para sa mga aral lang yan. Kasi totoo ba pati sa telepono mo, kung marunong kang mag-maximize ng mga apps at gadgets, nakakalikha ka ng kanta.
Oh yes.
Kung alam mo gamitin yung technology. Yung mga ganong laman ng ating mga dala-dalang gadgets. You can create music from everything and anything, and if your heart calls for it, it will come out.
But I now just got an idea. We have to find good material with Company and John to do a cappella. That would be nice. We used to do one. We used to do one.
Why not?
Kumakanta yan.
Parang pag-beatbox yan.
Yun!
Ikaw mag-beatbox with your costume.
Aaralin ko sa kanila kasi kabilang sa kanila ang isa sa mga naging teacher ko din. So,
Kailangan
ang dami kong natututunan.
pa-beatbox si John
At
Santos.
saka, nababawasan yung nervyos at yung takot.
Huwag kang ma-stress. Nandito yung
Hindi,
teacher.
actually,
Kapela tayo.
it should be fun. It should be fun.
Yun, that's
Oh my
all.
gosh!
Go.
Oh my gosh!
Nakabahagi ng isang portion ng isang musical na nagawa ko, naging bahagi ako recently, ang huling El Vivo, ay isang acapella.
Oh,
Nung
kinanta.
theme song na
Yes.
alam ko din kung gaano ka-challenging it could be. Pero but I also saw how it could bring performers together closely. Yung pakiramdaman at saluhan at being on the same page and giving justice to that note, that line, that verse. It's a nice welcome challenge kasi I'm sure it will be fun. It brought me and OJ closer.
Reunion sila ngayon, the El Bimbo Boys.
Natuto ko po akong magbilang ng konti ng hindi allowed.
Very humble.
So yung the company ba makikigulo rin kayo dyan pagdating sa mga comedy
I
parts?
insist!
Basta,
I
sabihan mo kami.
insist. Today lang sa
It's
photoshoot ngayon, naramdaman ko na up sila to the challenge of transforming physically.
Oh, yeah.
Di ba? Ang magbago-bago ng anyo, magbago ng buhok,
Shifter.
or magkabuhok, or everything for kailangan.
O, mawala ng buhok.
That's also one way, I mean, that's why.
You're an artist, you're not an artist if you're not like that. So, kulayan mo yung karakter mo. Hindi porket singer ka, dun dapat
Stay
nga,
on your lane.
dapat nga mas magaling kang
I think that's also
Transformers din yung mga
one of the reasons why the career of John is lasting for 3 decades and also us. Because if you are able to be a shapeshifter musically and also image-wise, it keeps it interesting. Because if people say, same old,
Keeps you relevant. You can't just be a one-trick pony.
Oh, no.
Present the same thing every time. Kailangan, tinan mo kung what works for others, try mo rin i-adapt sa sariling act.
You can't be a one-trick pony. You should grow up and be a horse. No, a thoroughbred. An Arabian thoroughbred.
But if you sing
Claiming
too much,
total.
you will become horse. Hindi, pero gaya nga nung sinabi nila na same old lang, nagkaroon na rin naman ng mga concerts na in-invite ka to be part of a night of revival. So bringing back also. Pero pag binigyan buhay mo isang kanta the company way, totally iba yung magic.
There will be mashups that are, there will be mashups that sometimes, if it's situated in the 90s, there will be references and mashups to songs from the 70s. Floyd is very excited with. So far, I've done 3 new arrangements, and I told Floyd that it would be like a tribute to Vogue and fashion imagery and all of that. So I'm very excited to teach that to company. So there will be unusual mashups. Teka, akala ko 60s tayo ngayon, but you cross-reference. So anong magandang sinabi ni Maribel Garcia sa ating press con? If you ride the arrow of time. So in a way, our concert Throwback is like that. You let the audience, you invite them to ride the arrow of time so that they feel things and remember things that makes them feel good. Now's a good time to give that to your audience.
At nasa magandang, very able hands of musical director Beth Martin
and stage director Floyd Quintos, who's writing the script also with John Santos.
Ang maganda din sa nag-reunite o nagtatrabaho ulit together is you both know what you have done before and you both know that you need to go beyond it and offer something new. Because kung hindi first time collaboration, ano naman gawin nila ngayon? Alam mong may ganun. Kami pa parang fourth. So, there was Quick Change, there was iHeart, MLA, there was Rom-Com.
These are concerts from the past.
Saan sila yung Rom at ako yung Com, pero ngayon makabaliktad. Sila naman ang Com, ako naman ang Rom. Oo, nag-US tour pa kami. Hindi lang yun, nagpunta pa kami Cebu. In the past, corporate shows.
So,
On and off stage kasi mayroon ng magandang friendship. So, the art becomes even more fulfilling.
So even if they've watched us before, yung mga nanood na ng Quick Change, rom-com,
My Heart Manila.
asahan nila that they will not see the same thing
no.
all over again. Bago na naman yung mga papakita namin ni John.
Talaga ha? Talaga.
Diba?
It's
We have
like-
Papatahi pa yung
months.
ipakikita na.
It's a fact. It's also because we're going through 5 decades. You will literally have 5 minimum, John more, but for a company, a minimum of 5 looks
At
to
literal na gagamitin namin yung costume namin of that decade.
No, I can't fit into that. I can't fit into that. Pardon? The what? Oh no, but that's just from '98. That's from I still have to have that dry clean. Because we have a bodega at my parents' home, and we have stuff from our first costumes from 1985. Most of the time, I don't throw away things like old costumes, vouchers, receipts, programs. I have a voucher from my first, we started as backup singers of Kuya Ledesma. May pirma ni Cook. Siyempre, starstruck ako kay Miss Ledesma noon. So,
Hindi niya in-encash.
Oh my God.
Sayang kasi. Napakahalaga nung autograph na yun.
I was struggling working. So everything is there, although it's not properly cataloged, but somehow I am still able to find things in the big bodega. So what Annie's referencing is we have a chubby, it's like an opera coat. It's like made of fake fur. It's made of fake fur. And we did that in 2000. But I kept it. Yeah, 2000. And that was our, what's 2000? Our 15th anniversary. That was done by the late and great designer Danilo Franco. Very big fur. And I was just I received an email from Gucci, and spring summer of 2019, lo and behold, yung gawa ni Danny Franco, bumalik na. I said, guess what? Who's back? So, hahanapin ko yun sa bodega, dry clean, and find a way to incorporate it again because it's very now.
I guess it's very Pinoy also to hold on to things and be sentimental, and songs that was in your prom, or songs that pinanligaw mo, or songs that are part of your
Your
journey.
first heartbreak.
So shows
Your
that
first
take
job.
you, yes,
First job.
shows that take you to that kind of emotional experience. Bonggang-bongga sa Pinoy. At saka ang gandang challenge sa artist na malaman, oh my goodness, akala ko, ako lang nakaisip. Naku, decades ago pala, pinangunahan na ni ganito, ganyan. Even in novelty. Napakaraming bagay na akala mo, ikaw lang unang mag-iisip ng ganyan. Hindi ginawa yan ni Yoyoy, ginawa yan nila Vincent Dafalong, ginawa na ng ibang mga kanta. Even in novelty songwriting, na isa rin sa actually nakakamiss sa mga radyo. Nakakamiss ng novelty songs. Christmas songs, syempre, hindi natin may miss yun kasi parating na yan. In fact, may parating na bago. Hindi ba, Moy?
Thank you. Perfect segment.
Hindi na mahalata ang plugin.
Hindi na halata. Well, pati yung inflection. Thank you.
And we'll be right back. And we're back! Wala namang
We're back.
Yes.
Kasi
As
walang
you were
commercial.
saying.
SOLAIRE is our... we have a new single coming out by the 3rd week of October. Company is releasing an original Christmas song, our first in 12 years. It's called Love is Love is Love. I wrote it, Annie singing lead. It's very nice because it's very reminiscent of the sound, early Motown sound. And Motown's, that Supremes, Four Tops, Temptations, / Beach Boys. There's a section there wherein you have a bit of Brian Wilson. So even with a brand new Christmas single, there is a touch of throwback, and we are performing it for the first time with a live band at Throwback. So our first song in 12 years. I mean, ang kapal ko to say na ano, but I was really surprised how it came out, and everyone loves the song. And I feel it's a very strong contemporary English song. Love is love is love. We're filming the music video very soon, so we release it internationally, digitally, with the music video on that week, third week of October. It's exciting.
May sinabi si Mr. M, kailangan na natin ng mga bagong Christmas standards. So it's
Hopefully
always nice to have new songs we can listen to in the next Christmases.
Para mabigyan niyo ng competition si Jose Marichan.
Ay, wala na.
Jose Marichan is the Philippines. Is Jose Marichan, and he is like the the counterpart of Thriller of Michael Jackson in terms of
He's
sales.
the human Christmas tree.
Biggest OPM seller in history for life. Di na yun uulit yung sales na gano'n. Kahit sinong bagong artista and sinong bagong banda, they can never and will never beat Jose Marichan's Christmas in Our Hearts. Hindi na yan. That's our Thriller.
Mas may respeto ka sa sales kaysa sa streaming.
But that's both right, Joe. Streaming and sales is the same. Because either way, it's monetized. Streaming gets monetized. Small lang ha. Pero it's still monetized in a way. YouTube streaming is monetized.
Except that, pag sales, ako mismo as consumer ang maglalabas ng pera ko. Pag streaming, may magbabayad for me viewing. That's the difference, di ba?
No, but in a way, you also have to pay for Spotify Premium. 100, maliit lang,
Maliit nga.
130. Yeah, but it's come to the point wherein no one makes already physical CDs. It's getting more rare.
Hindi ka na ba nagsulat ulit? Susulat ko from time to time. Sabay ko siya sa metro ko.
So,
96?
96.
Who was your
Iman,
interpreter?
ako.
Hindi ako
Na
marunong kumanta.
Yes.
Tapos nagsulat
That
na
was
siya.
you. That was you.
And then siya.
I remember.
Ang ganda kasi ng pagkalan.
I have that CD. I have that
Meron pa
part.
siyang-
I have that CD.
Ernie?
You remember.
Yeah, I remember.
So, do you miss having, like for the millennials, this might be alien to them, do you miss having radio hits?
You know,
Not that you need it, I mean, you've reached that point in your careers na.
Yes, thank you for saying that. But we do. I think that's the next aim for company for 2019. We're returning to original music now. Well, this Love is Love is Love, the new single, is an indie self-produced. But we feel as a group and with our management stages, whether it becomes a national hit or not, it's just right to once again contribute to the canon of OPM, the catalog of OPM. It feels like the right time to do it now. There's this resurgence in OPM, of course brought about by the indie artists. It feels like the right time to go original again. So that's where we're going in 2019.
Nakakakilig pa rin pag napapakinggan mo sa radyo yung dati mo. So,
There's nothing like it, but it would be nice to have a new song on the radio, like a new song. Radio's a bit, ageist. Radio's a bit I mean, if Paul McCartney and Madonna couldn't escape it, what makes us think that we can? But having even faced with that, we will press on. Because the point now is to add to the catalog of OPM. And I think after 10 years, it's a little, we'll pause muna with the covers. Not to say that those doing all of our cover albums were not good. Were fantastic for company. Sales-wise, popularity-wise. But as an artist, iba to have songs that come from you. It's from your marrow.
And it's a shame if you won't, like kahit ikaw na lang, won't write an original song. You wrote one of the most
I know.
still our biggest seller song of all time.
Pagdating was the biggest selling OPM of the last decade. And that, nag-blues ako with company. Tumatanda na ako. I'm a songwriter, not writing a song. Because for a while there, no one was asking songs from me. And second, even if you come up with something really amazing, there was no system to support it. But now it's changed. Spotify is here. That changes everything. So even though if sometimes certain TV shows and certain radio stations are still ageist, you still have the digital world. It's really up to you to be savvy enough to find your audience with a new song.
At napapag-usapan na rin yung the times being the basis for your art. Di ba nga, napakasarap. Maraming Pilipino nagmumuni-muni about where our country is going. Di ba? And very soon, in half a year, we're choosing leaders. I guess, kung nagre-reflect yun sa stand-up political comedy, I guess that will also reflect in shows and plays and pieces and songs.
In your art.
In songs of love of country. I'm sure yung mga magkakaroon ng resurgence natin. Especially from Mr. M to Mr. C, na alam naman natin napaka-senior na din. Diba? Two young new composers, they are creating. Because they speak about the truth that is in front of them. So
I think
you
as a songwriter and you also
choosing
as a
wisely.
It sounds pretentious, but you can't deny it. It's one of the things. That's why you're an artist. It must reflect your worldview, whether people agree with it or not. But that's the role of an artist.
It's your truth.
Your truth. And regardless if people latch onto it or agree to it, that you are an artist and you show to the world, this is what I think. Now, whether you digest it or not is beyond my control.
So I guess
see what you're saying.
many people agree that Christmas is in our hearts. At kay ganda ng ating musa mula nung ako'y natutuma. Ikaw, magkikreate ka din ba ng bagong mga awitin na sinisigaw ng puso mo?
Sa kanya camera.
But you don't stop there, syempre.
What do you mean?
Like you always reflect what your thoughts are because you have the platform, artista ka nga. But you can level up by, after reflecting that, to find the way to uplift people. Diba?
How do you mean uplift? Please explain.
You always focus, this is just me, even kay ang trabaho mo ay writer or editor
Painter,
or artist.
musician.
So ipipinta mo, may bad things happen, good things happen, but at the end, don't just leave it at bad things happen or bad things are happening. Diba? You also have to point out na no matter how bad it has been throughout history, in the end, the good always wins.
But that is, art. You can't dictate art. That should even with the music. Example now, companies involved in this. I'm working on a passion project called Mass Pop. It's a full mass, Latin mass, but then in Philippine contemporary, not Philippine, in a cappella, contemporary a cappella. Some people will kill me for it. Some people will say it's blasphemous. I don't give a shit. That's my art. It's from my point of view. I'm a Catholic. The Mass is very important to me. And I love contemporary. I love beatbox. I love dance music. So if I want to express myself that way, it's going. Now, whether people, however they interpret that, whether it's blasphemy or whether they think it's a breakthrough, is beyond my control. I feel since it's self-produced, I just needed to get that out of my system so that I don't want to grow old or I don't want to reach a point when I already don't have my health and I say, I wasn't able to do it. Whether it's a success or not, in my lifetime, I tried, I followed and pursued my vision and I did it. I don't want to grow old and say, I didn't do it.
You can do it, man. Basta, like, example, yung kay Alanis Morissette, yung album niya, no? Diba, it's an album that's described to be about angry songs. Still, the old album, the debut,
Jagged Little Pill.
The Jagged Little Pill. But because she did it so well, the goodness still won because the genius was recognized. I mean, if you're going to do something about the dark side, just do it well para hindi shallow.
Yun ang
That's what I
ibig mong
mean.
sabihin.
That's what I mean. I know you know that.
Like in the same way, example, filmmakers can easily be accused na, ay, poverty porn. Ganon. Basta makapag-shoot lang sa mga mahihirap
Wag
para...
naman yung basta makapag lang.
Okay.
Do
Kung
it
ako
well.
yung sinasabi.
You know what I mean?
Kung ako yung sinasabi. We are trying from John's universe, whether it's social commentary through comedy, or us naman, our milieu is vocal harmony that's done literally and figuratively. We spread the gospel of harmony. We just, we just try to do as best as we can given our circumstance. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But we just have to keep on trying.
Parang there was this musical theater piece that they said went to a very dark place, but some said they tried to do they tried to do it well with elements from different collaborators, from the lighting to the set to the arrangement to the direction. Parang they put together people who will want to do it well and will want to do it properly. So it did go to dark place.
And it was a hit.
And it's coming back.
March.
Grabe.
Pero ang sinasabi nila, I think the fact na nariyan pa ang mga awiting Pilipino at mga bagong songwriters, nakikita pa rin natin ang music as a fantastic way to heal. The same way na may comedy shows pa kasi, natatawanan na, siguro nag-heal na yung tao. Sabi kasi comedy is tragedy plus time.
Yes.
Minsan basihan namin sa headline kung ang sakit-sakit pa, lalo na may incident, si Mocha with some less fortunate Filipinos are disabled. Even comedians, step back ka muna, i-joke mo na ba ito the day of the headline? Minsan you step back,
it's too soon.
Parang, kung nagagawa na ng joke, 3 days, 4 days later, and eventually there were jokes na about
memes,
stuff like, meme, ang Pilipino marunong mag-heal. Kasi kayang tawanan. Kasi tatawa siya kesa umiyak siya at mag-stop trying to live.
I think that's the magic of and the redeeming quality of art. I mean, I know it sounds kind of mumbo-jumbo now, but since we are articulating about this, ang sa amin naman, yes, it's throwback, which runs counterpoint to what I said to you na we're doing originals, but we are offering an experience to go back in time with us, the soundtrack of your life, an experience to make you feel, an experience to dance your blues away, to dance the night away. So every project that we take on, embark on, has an intent, and it's well thought of. Because I know some people can say, what makes that different from, not that I'm saying they're any less or anything. What makes that different from a playlist of any old band in a music bar? Ours, we're of course working with the best director, who is 5-time Palanca awardee, working with beautiful musicians and light people and fashion people, and the way the songs, the pop songs of the last 50 years are curated, that's what we have to order. Because most of the time, the songs will not be album versions. We either do a remix, or we do a mashup, or we do totally. They don't know this. They will be shocked. Pero may pasabog.
Ang dami na siya.
Para may pasabog kayo sa write-up ninyo. We are doing Drake's In My Room. So you just figure out how company can do the Kiki song. Drake's In My Room, but I figure out a way.
Kiki song.
Akala
ko yung kanta ni
in my right, the song by Drake. So I found a very clever way that it's super complex. So we're doing a song by Drake in this album.
And it's a very interesting year for them. Kasi merong year, there was a time in their year when they were doing something new. There was a time in the year when they were doing something new with something old.
Yeah.
Like the Mask. There was a time in the year when they were offering something new, like a new Christmas song. There was a time in their year when they were doing new things other than the usual na minahal ng mga tao sa fans, ng mga fans. So may lugar talaga ito sa kanilang taon. Ito naman yung part of their year when they involve looking back, throwback.
Yeah.
Their way.
And to do it in SOLAIRE, my gosh. The last time we were here to our solo, when we did our 30th, John was with us. That was historic. Not just for company, for SOLAIRE. It was the very first time that venue got filled up to the brim, had an SRO, and an OPM artist did that. It was the very first time. It's happened many times since. So since 2050, it hasn't happened since then.
That's what we want.
Oh, fantastic. That's nice to know. But so if we are returning from that, from 2015 to this, we gotta come up with the goods, eye and ear. So it's gonna be fabulous, really fabulous.
You always do.
We try.
Visual and
I
every
can
kind
ear.
of
I can.
eye and ear.
Salamat sa oras.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How
Paula.
to
Thank you.
write songs again.
Please come to Pinoy Playlist and this one.
Thank you.
Please come to Pinoy Playlist and this one. You will